Hello and welcome to the penultimate session of Masks, a New Generation Gauntlet Quarterly. This is part of the Gauntlet Comics series of games, and you can find out more about that. There's a link in the notes on that. There are a number of games that are being run in the same sort of shared universe, and Rich Rogers does a weekly brief podcast with news from this, and in fact this week had an advertisement for the Bean There Doom That coffee shop mentioned in a number of our sessions, and Rich built a whole backstory for that. So there we go. So I encourage you to check that out. Last session, our group had a lot of social interactions, had a lot of issues that appeared on the table. Things did not necessarily go as they wanted it. In particular, Torrent had a blowout, not really a blow up, but realized the gravity of her imposition on her uncle. There was a weird interaction between Shadow Boy and Harvester that put Shadow Boy off, and then Shadow Boy had a weird interaction with Torrent. Zan and Harvester had some interesting moments, and then we got a set of school moments that included some revelations and discovery that one of the young men at the school is apparently the past self of the villain Asphyxia, who escaped from the Aeon containment facility. And this young man is actually pretty dangerous. He has a device controlling his powers that if that is damaged, it could cause severe problems, i.e. death, for everyone around him. And that was a vision that Zahn had. The group looked into that and discovered that something called the Xandar Institute had cleared this young man, Eduardo, for the school. And there's questions about what was going on with that. We also, off-screen from the PCs, discovered that the guidance counselor that Shadow Boy has been seeing, Dr. Zavania, is in fact the villain Syndic, the one who has been pulling back people from the future to mentor their past villainous, their past selves, and make them into better villains. But that was sort of off camera, but that is a thing that's in there. We're going to start out today with sort of two cliffhangery scenes from last time. And that is with Shadow. Now, let me ask you, Michael, should I now refer to you as Shadow Boxer?
That would be lovely.
Okay, so Shadow Boxer heading off to prove himself, and Torrent going off to consider things and being confronted by the future self of Shadow Boxer. But we'll come to those scenes in just a moment. It is start a session for Masks, so everyone be aware that I have put one team in the team pool. So that is there. One for selfish use. If we get into a fight, you'll get two more because Sarah has a special move for that. But Michael, Shadow Boxer, you're determined to hunt down Bolt, find and capture him on your own. And so we're going to have you roll your straight up creeping move. That is your sort of observational one. Let's have you roll that, and then we'll figure out what the fiction is for that.
Sounds good. I'm thinking, like, as far as my approach goes, like for straight up creeping, what I'm actually doing to try to accomplish that. Like, I don't imagine that Shadow Boxer has like a bat cave or a Cerebro or any sort of, super science method of finding information on people. So he's probably relying on social media and what teenagers are saying and gathering intel from there, which I think is part of the reason why I am rolling with mundane. And as soon as Roll for Your Party loads up, I will be able to do that.
Okay.
And I used to be very mundane, but because of my label shifting around, I am no longer quite mundane at all.
In the first hour of our legacy session on Sunday, I would say that 75 to 90% of the results were 6 or less. It was brilliant, a death march. It was delightful. So what did you get, Michael?
Speaking of which, here's a 5.
So tell me, where do you think you catch up to Bolt? What has been the technique? I mean, he used to be at your school before he got expelled and became a villain. Do you think you follow somebody from your school, or are you tracking it some sort of superhero things? What do you think?
Well, I don't think that Bolt, whose real name is Marston or something, right?
He only goes by Bolt now.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he has his own like social media page, but I think that like I sort of like saw other people saying that they saw him or that they were hanging out with him or whatever. And I think there's like one place in particular that he was known to like hang out at, and that's where I happened.
There is a sort of old, refurbished sort of like metro station / mall that has a kind of scummy gray area super bar / club called the Backstairs, and it is the place where vigilantes and hench and those kinds of things go, and it's kind of troubled place, but you are pretty certain that Bolt is there, and I assume you're going to phase your way in to try and find him.
Yeah, so it is a bar, and I think that being short and skinny, I probably don't look very old, so I'm probably going to have to find a place to sneak in. I think it kind of involves like you might see me like leaning up against an exterior wall and like just sticking my head in briefly, looking around and pulling it back out until I find a quiet and safe place to phase in.
All right, and you would see the Bolt standing at one of these tables. He looks jittery. He's a speedster, so you see he's got a pile of candy bars and stuff in front of him. He's got his hoodie up, trying to conceal his face here, but yeah, he is definitely the person that you are looking for.
And as I've been doing like my research on him, has anything come up about why specifically he's kind of in the news lately?
Well, so he joined forces with some villains to try and take down the team, kind of turned by his future self. And then when he didn't turn himself in immediately, Sarah Sparks released all the footage of his bad deeds on social media and essentially destroyed his future. And so he turned to the dark side.
There's probably plenty of footage for me to justify my actions with, in my mind at least. Yeah.
And so you are getting set, and then you will feel the poke of something in your back. Oh, by the way, you get to mark potential.
True. I feel as if I've probably done something accidental or actually bumped into somebody because I'm a little uncomfortable in this space, and so I probably like turn around and say, "Oh, I'm sorry. Did I get in your way?"
And you'll see this woman. She's maybe in her mid-20s. She's got kind of a long sort of duster jacket there. and she's smiling, kind of short, almost pixie cut blonde hair, and she's got a gun poking you now in the chest, and she will say, "Sweetie, you're not going to want to phase because I can still shoot you."
Do you know who I am?
I know you're part of the team, and I know that Bolt's been waiting on one of y'all to come down here.
So you recognize me?
Move. And she pokes you with the gun to move you over to the table.
Yeah, okay. You don't have to worry. I just came for some answers.
And she continues to poke. You will recognize her as Caliber Saint, one of the escapees, one of the people that Bolt broke out of the Aeon containment facility.
Oh man, it's big leagues.
She's an adult supervillain. She has these guns. They're not real. Essentially, they're just manifestations for her power. So you can tell that they're like toy guns from Target kind of thing, but they focus her abilities. And she will push you over the table, and Bolt looks up at you. Hello, Shadow Boy.
Well, I'm going by Shadow Boxer now. I've I feel like you don't feel a little insecure here. I've picked up a few tricks. I was planning on trying them out on you. No offense, say to Caliber Saint.
Where's the rest of your team? Or is it just you?
And part of me is tempted to say they're right around the corner, to try to bluff my way out of here. I'm so used to. I probably say this out loud, like, I'm so used to phasing away out of trouble. I didn't really have a backup plan.
He looks very disappointed. He says, "That's really too bad."
Why is that?
Because you're the one I'm not allowed to hurt.
Same apply to her?
Yeah. And she looks disappointed.
I saw those things that you did. I think you're a bad guy.
Are you provoking him? Or are you trying to pierce the mask? What do you think this is?
I think I'm trying to pierce the mask, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to
let's have you pierce the mask. Let's see what that roll is, and then I'm going to move over to Torin.
Well, I'm angry, and I'm not very mundane right now, so this is probably not going to go well.
Well, let's see. Yeah, pierce the mask is angry. Yeah.
So that is literally a 1.
That is a 1. So the good news is you get to mark potential. The bad news is he does snap, and his hand comes out, and it comes through the table like a buzz saws through it, and like the shreds of the table go out, and he hits you flat in the chest with essentially the vibrating palm. Can you roll take a powerful blow?
Yes, I can. Ooh. Oh boy. I finally roll high. I got an 11.
Well, I'm going to let you think on that as I come
Okay.
back over to Torrent. Torrent.
Sounds good.
So this is where you went. What do you do?
I think she immediately like scrambles backwards away from him. Because I think at this point, when she's confronted with him, she's getting flashes of the stuff that she's seen him do to other people.
Fingers out. Time to come home. Time to come home. Take your medicine.
No.
And he's advancing towards you. The shadow suit, darker than you remember. It like eats the light around. The sort of tactical gloves there. You can see like the glint of something metal in them. The full face mask. There's no skin showing, no eyes. It's, if anything, like where the eye spaces would be, it's even darker. Like it's painted with that light absorbing black on that spot. And he is coming for you. Now, what do you want to do? Do you want to try and escape him? Do you want to try and take him on? What do you think?
I think her first instinct is to put some distance in between them, and then probably try to make a dash for it.
I think that's going to be unleash your powers.
Okay.
Does that seem like a fair way to handle that escape?
I think so.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm angry and afraid, so
I don't think that affects your unleash. Unleash is hopeless. We'll get you to there.
Oh yeah. Well, my freak is still a 0, so we're still not in a great space roll wise. Let's see how this goes.
Okay.
What is it? It's showing me it repeatedly rolling. That's 9. Yeah, 9.
That's a 9. So, you can mark a condition to get away, or you get some breathing room, and he is still on your tail. What do you think?
I think I kind of want him to be still on my tail. I don't want to. Basically, what happened is she.
What do we see on panel of you using your powers to escape? Because imagine he's running after you and phasing through everything.
I think what she does is she kicks off, and he's running and phasing through stuff. But as he's running, he's still generating some residual kinetic energy. And I think what happens is she starts to drain as much of that off as she can. She can't really get a grip on him because he's phasing, but he's still moving. So she drains off just enough of that to push herself further away. So like as he's closing, she's continually maintaining that distance. She's not escaping, but he's not able to get close enough to deliver like an actual shot to her or anything.
And where are you headed? Are you going to lead him back to the school where there's all the civilians around, or what?
Oh, no, she's going to when we left off last time, if I remember right, she was in that nearby park.
Yep.
It's maybe a block or so away from the school.
Yep.
And I think she's going to try and as best she can, because she doesn't know where else to go. She doesn't know the city well enough. She's going to try and keep him like in this in this open area where he can't sneak up on her. And she's basically going to try and do that. And she's going to try and see if she can get a message out to the rest of the team as she's basically leaping back away from him with each like attempt at his attempts to close. She's like leaping back. Oh, probably the last person whose number I had in there. So I'm thinking it might be Shadow Boy. He was the last person I talked to on the phone, or Shadow Boxer now.
His phone will ring through.
And she's like, crap. And she's like cycling through her last known calls. And I think before that, she probably had called Sarah before that.
Okay.
because I think she did. I don't remember her having Zan's number, and I don't think she's really been trusting enough of Harvester to really call her for anything. So it's probably going to be Sarah.
Then Sarah, where are you at? You missed the day from school. Where are you at right now?
I think I'm at the focal point, my sanctuary.
Okay. And you will get this, call in from Torrent. And I assume you answer.
Right.
And you'll hear Sarah, and then that line will cut off. And we will see on panel that you're in that open area there, Zahn. And that's not Zahn, but Torrent, and you don't see him. And Shadowboxer comes up like out of your own shadow, like comes up out of that and grabs you. We'll come back to you in just a second. Let me check in with, we go like a few minutes earlier, and we check in with Harvester and Zahn, because they just found out this information about Eduardo, right? That makes you a little suspicious, worried, nervous. What's your next step, you two?
Good idea. I'm not even sure I have a next step.
Yeah, I have to call this in.
Oh, what are they going to do about it?
They need to know.
Okay.
I don't know what they're going to do. If I knew what they were going to do, I would go do it. That's why I'm calling in to ask for instructions.
Oh,
so I'm calling Aeon.
Okay. Yeah, you do that. It's too boring for me to just stay here while you're calling someone, so I'm gonna find Eduardo.
Okay. So you two split up.
Yeah.
Let's.
So I mean, sorry, just for a sec.
Sure.
Can we just make this it takes me 5 seques to call Aeon thing? I don't.
Sure,
I don't want to split up.
Sure.
This will only take me a minute, and
Yes, we can do that, but you're going to have to come back to me because 5 seconds might still be too boring for me.
Okay. Then I can call it in and while we
I have no problem not splitting up
wherever you want to go. So I actually have a soldier move, which is when you ask Aeon for additional resource equipment or information during a mission, roll plus soldier.
Okay.
On a hit, they'll resupply as best they can. On a 10 plus, the resources are highly classified or experimental. Take +1 ongoing deploying them throughout the mission. On a miss, Aeon sends what they think you need, regardless of what you actually requested.
Okay. Let us have you roll.
Cool. So soldiers at +2 right now. And 2 gets me to 8.
Okay. So they will say we will send containment resources, and we will scramble a containment team to take the subject into custody. But it'll take us a few minutes. We're going to need you to take control of them.
Got it. Acknowledged. On the way.
Yeah, there's that pause after you say "got it" when they.
Yes. Yeah.
Affirmative.
Yeah. And I look at Zahn and I say, "Okay, they're coming. We've got to make sure nothing happens until they get here."
Zahn, how are you going to find Eduardo? You muted. You're still muted.
sorry. Okay, I'm going to tap into cosmic ethers and what was it called? Plug into the cosmic ether. Yeah, okay, I got it. But there's something I don't like about what Herbert just said about having to bring him in. I'm not like that fan of that plan.
Okay. Well, let's start with the out of this world roll.
7.
7 on a hit. On a hit, you can probably get a brief flash from having interacted with Torrent and all that, and you'll get a flash of Eduardo at that Chinese restaurant bussing tables right now.
Oh, okay.
And you will certainly pick that up, and you can identify. Look at the takeout menu in your vision and be able to tell where you need to go. Does that seem fair?
Yep.
Okay. And the two of you will take off for that. Harvester, what do you think you're given? What gives you the +1 ongoing? What does the Aeon dispatch get you?
Oh, what does it get me? You know what? It gets me a I think while we're running over there, just like a HUD on my goggles pops up with basically his abilities and like, how far away from him do I have to be? Like if we, if when I come at him, I hold my breath, does that mean I can fight him for 3 or 4 minutes?
Yeah, they will actually get you.
That, yeah.
They give you the tactical information not on him, but on Asphyxia, his future self, because that's what they do have.
Oh my God! Okay, yeah.
Wow. And it's really good that you have that.
Yeah.
When you get the ping of him being in the area.
Okay. Okay.
And Eduardo.
Whoa! So they're both.
So let me cut to Sarah. Sarah, you get that call that gets cut off from Torrent.
Right, and I say, Rosalind, trace that call. Rosalind is the AI assistant thing I've got. Rosalind.
And it'll immediately pull up. You see the quick overlay grid of the neighborhood around your school, and then it'll roll into the like a few blocks away, and it'll zoom in on the park there, and it'll ping the location there.
Right, and I have Rosalind open a teleportal to the closest access point.
Okay,
I've got.
And you will launch yourself out into this park, and I mean it's a matter of seconds, and you will see this dark night black figure, tall and muscled, physically imposing, and it's got a hold of Torrent, and you can actually see that there's a nimbus of what you've come to identify as chronal energy in the air, like whoever this person is, they're opening a time portal.
Okay, well, there's one thing that can fight darkness, it's light. So I'm going to slam together my dazzle fists and try to disrupt this thing.
Okay, so you have does that sound like defend then? Like you're trying to?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm defending.
Then let's have you roll that.
That's an 8.
That's an 8. So you'll keep them safe, and you get to choose one from the list. Add team to the pool. Take influence over Torrent or clear condition.
Let's see. I don't have any conditions, so I'll add a team to the pool.
Okay. So right now there's 2 team in the pool, and when you do that, there'll be that flash, and I will say that time portal is still there, but that throws this shadow figure back, and Torrent, you'll whip your way out of the grass there, kind of land, smash through a park bench, and you kind of come to, and you see Sarah standing there, those dazzle fists kind of giving off the last glow, the portal that she came through kind of closing behind her, and this shadow figure getting back up. What do you do, Torrent? Torrent is strangely quiet. She's muted.
Sorry. Torrent sees that nimbus of temporal energy that's still sort of sputtering open. I think she's going to try and grab that and basically use it to shunt it into Shadow Boy and launch him back to where Shadow Boxer and launch him back to his time.
I think that's unleash your powers.
Yes. So let's see if I can pull that off again. That's a 7. Whew.
That is a 7.
I will mark a condition to make him go away.
Okay. Tell me what that looks like.
I think you see he starts to get up and stride back towards Torrent, try and grab her again. And you see those that's sort of like those waves of that sort of purplish energy reach out from around her and seize onto that portal behind him and just shunt that portal forward, like before he realizes what's happening, and it just like shoom.
Yeah, connect the two, and whoosh, he's gone. And our comic panel actually cuts from him flying into that portal to our present day Shadow Boxer smashing into the bar. What did you choose as your results for Take a Powerful Blow, Shadow Boxer?
Well, I'm really interested in the option of losing control of yourself or your powers in a terrible way.
What do you think that is here in this bar?
Well, I'm not sure exactly, but I do want to say I'm very excited because I've gathered enough potential to unlock my moment of truth.
Ooh, interesting.
So I might like to leverage that here in a second, but losing control of my powers in a terrible way. I think that there's some interesting stuff going on with future me right now, involving time portals and stuff. And we also mentioned way back at the beginning of the session how the first session I'd been seeing these like images of these figures while I was phasing.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think of a way we could bring that all together in a not so great for Shadow Boxer young way.
I think, if I may,
Yes,
that it is, I mean, this is a darkened bar, and you grab onto the shadows and you grab onto your phasing ability in a desperate attempt because you know you're going to smash against that wall, and it's like an old concrete wall, and you don't know, I mean, it might kill you. And you will grab onto that. And that is that moment that we will see like all of these after images of everyone. Like all of these different possible futures pop up like a weird, extended mirrored hallway from everyone here. And we will see that smash against that. And when you it helps you with your phasing and hold on. And when you look up, everyone that's in the bar, including Bolt, including Caliber Saint, they all look different. Their costumes are different. Their appearance is different. It looks like something has happened to all of them. Does that seem like a fair result?
Yeah. Very interesting.
And you'll see Bolt's going, what's going on? What is happening? We'll come back to you.
Okay.
Moment. So yeah, Harvester, you've got a sign tracking for both Eduardo, but the like signature that you gotten the info from Aeon about is also popped up in the same couple block radius.
All right. First thing I do is immediately say, Harvester to attack team, Harvester to containment team.
ETA about 9 minutes at this point, sir.
Sorry. What's the
Asphyxia.
Asphyxia is the adult name, right?
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Situational update. Asphyxia is present on the scene.
We recommend withdrawing from the area. Tactical judgment in your hands, but we recommend withdrawing from the area, clearing civilians as best as possible.
And I turn to I turn to Zan and I say, we got to get people out of here so that or this is going to be a disaster.
Yeah, what's happening?
Asphyxia is here.
Oh, yeah. Who's that?
So, sorry, stepping out.
Yeah.
Does Zan really not know who that is?
That's
I
right.
don't think so.
Asphyxia appeared in the first few issues, but before Zahn appeared on the scene.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never met them. So as sorry, and I'm just trying to make
No,
sure I
perfect. Confusion is perfect.
Yeah, with the time travel and stuff is so as Harvester, I understand that this is someone from the future, right?
You have been, as Harvester, you've probably picked up in the discussion that we've gone on just recently that this Asphyxia person, this Eduardo, is in fact the past self, or rather the present self of this Asphyxia person.
Okay.
Who is the villain from the future. Yes.
Okay. So I say it's a powerful metahuman with the ability to remove oxygen from the air. Anybody that they're around.
Like Eduardo.
Yes, except an adult and in full control of their powers.
Okay.
We need to keep people safe from them.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. And yeah, and let's not miss the firework.
Suzanne, what would you do to help with the civilians in the area or help protect? What does Zahn do?
Usually I will carry people out, but I can carry like everyone out of the air. I have to talk to people. Yeah, I'm going to just shout out like villain attack, get off here, and fly around.
All right, let's have you defend.
My savior is 0.
Okay, it's on a minus.
Angry, does that do anything?
So defend is affected by insecure.
Okay. Come on, fail. 5.
So a 5. So the good news is
Potential.
you get to mark potential. Harvester, you're scrambling the TAC team, and you're getting the coordinates and things like that. And then you'll feel the air get thin. And where you're at, Zahn, this figure comes out of nowhere in what looks like some kind of power suit and slams you down into the ground.
Oh no, not again.
And I'm going to need you to roll Take a Powerful Blow.
Of course. +1. Oh, 7.
Okay, so you get to choose one.
To take a powerful blow. Oh, I'm going to give ground.
Okay. So it pushes you along, and that gives him the opportunity. And you will see people like in the like coffee shops and things nearby you start collapsing to the ground. They start falling over unconscious, and you can tell he is destroying the oxygen in the area.
That's true. Wow.
So, boy, it's crazy now. Let's go to Sarah and Torrent, because we may be able to bring them in on one of these other scenes so we can connect things up. And then let's go to Shadow Boxer. Does that seem fair?
Okay.
Sarah.
I'm checking to make sure that Torrent is okay, and since Torrent was attacked, I'm going to contact the rest of the team to see if they're all right.
I think that Harvester, you're going to be probably the person who's going to be able to pick up from that comm.
All right. Sarah, it's Harvester. We've got a situation here. Asphyxia has started to attack civilians. I need your help right now.
Send me your location. We're on our way.
And I ping it.
Okay. Torrent, how are you feeling?
I think she's her energy absorption have kind of like boosted her up a little bit, because when she fell through that bench, she just naturally absorbed the kinetic energy, so she's feeling a little sprier than she was before. But she's also like got this adrenaline still going. So, and she said, and she tells Sarah immediately, that was a future self of Shadow Boxer. We've got to. It looks like we're going to have a bunch of those coming in now.
It's a Shadow Boxer, really? It's a
Shadow Boxer. Shadow Boxer is Shadow Boy. He's calling himself Shadow Boxer.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay. All right. Can you teleport like that all the time? Can we just like teleport over to them?
Though that's a good question. How much can I use my teleportals?
What? So let me look at that.
I mean, it's for the sanctuaries on the Doomed playbook.
Oh yeah, that's right. Generally, I haven't let people use that as just an instantaneous teleport. But I will let you use it as a fiction if you want to do unleash your powers to be able to move them. Does that seem fair? Like a fair?
Yeah, I mean, what is the distance between us and them?
Right now, I'd say we're probably about 7 or 8 blocks away. You could just run. Right.
Can Torrent move us quickly? Move both of us? I don't.
No, that's not really in her. Like she could jump, but it's not going to get us there fast.
All right, I'm going to try to unleash my powers to get us there more quickly.
Are you unleashing your powers with your own physique and picking them up, or are you trying to teleport?
To teleport.
Okay, then good. That tells me what the consequences are then.
Okay, that's a 7.
That is a 7. Is it unstable, or do you want to mark a condition?
I'll mark a condition.
In that case, it happens perfectly. There's no being thrown in different directions. There's no problem with it. You will pop through and like land pitch perfect right behind where Harvester is at. The 3 of you there, and you'll immediately, Torrent, Sarah, you'll immediately feel that thin air of the air, like you're at the top of a mountain, and you don't hear anybody screaming.
Okay, and I saw the news report that Asphyxia had escaped. So I'm going to say that I've been busy preparing countermeasures.
That certainly makes sense in terms of the fiction.
So I'm going to try to roll defend to hand out breathing masks to keep up the team on the feet.
Okay, I'm going to have you roll that right now, and then I'm going to, before we kind of resolve the results of that roll, I want to pop back to Shadowboxer. So let's go ahead and have you make that roll.
Okay. And that's a 9.
That is a 9. So what do you want as the
Right, or
result?
actually, if this counts as entering a dangerous situation as a team, that's a 10.
Okay, yeah, I think that seems fine. Yeah. In that case, yeah. And what do you want as your benefit on that?
Well, first of all, everybody has a breathing mask, so they're not directly affected by asphyxia's power. And
Do you want to add team, take influence, or clear condition?
I'll add a team to the pool.
Okay, all right. So team 3.
Yeah.
I want to go and check in with Shadow Boy, Boxer, and then I want to come back to the assembled group. Shadow Boxer. Everyone here looks stunned. Like everyone is clearly trying to adjust to where they're at. Like they're confused, and perhaps no one more so than Bolt, who's kind of stumbled forward and is like, "What is going on, Carter?"
And I think like I look up for a moment like at a mirror that's been like shattered by that table like flying, right? And like there's this like panel of like shadow box, or like looking at all these different like reflections of himself that are all slightly different. I was ready to use my moment of truth, but with this new situation, I don't know if it would still be as effective. I think
Feel free to hold off on that.
I think I will. Bolt.
Yeah, what's going on, Carter?
And I look at Caliber Saint, and what's her stance like right now? Has she got her hands on her guns at all, or
she is like she's looking around, like she's dressed differently, and she's like there's this thing where she's clearly trying to figure out why she's in these clothes.
right? So I think I'm going to run up and grab Bolt and like phase us together out of the building.
Okay. I think you can do that. You'll probably hear like some fighting break out when that happens, like because that's sort of a semi supervillain bar that you've changed everybody's destinies in, and there is a melee that will break out, and Carter, Bolt goes, what is going on? He's kind of grabbing onto you.
I'm trying to figure out who the bad guys are. I'm worried I might be one myself.
What are you talking about?
Something happened back in the bar. Something I've never done before, and you you know me, and I don't know you.
What do you mean you don't know me? I coached you for the last couple of years.
That must have been another Carter, because I came in here calling you Bolt and ready to beat you up.
And he looks kind of devastated. Like he's like, what are you talking about? You know, and he looks like he's trying to come to grips with it. Because what about your sister?
Buddy, I don't have a sister.
And all of the color drains out of his face.
I think we
And
should.
you see him look down, and you can see he's got an engagement ring on.
Oh no! Lol, I should have just marked conditions. What have you done to me?
And yeah, and he's now kind of hanging on to you, like what we've just said has devastated him.
I can fix this. we're gonna.
That's a good cut line there on that one. Zahn, this guy smashed you to the ground, drained. As you kind of, and you're like, oh, I'm on the ground again. You're furious about that more than anything else, right?
Yes, exactly.
But you'll see
Right.
over his shoulder, you will see the flash, and you'll see Harvester and Torrent and Sarah. What do you want to do, Zahn?
Okay, I'm really focused on asphyxia right now.
Okay.
But why do villains always have to slam me in the ground? I mean, is that a trend or something? I think I tried to catch him in my gravitational field, try to pull myself a little bit, saying something like, what's with villains and putting me underground? I really can't stand it. And trying to be angry, and I want to hurt him.
Okay.
I have an idea how, but I think I'm going to need to roll before.
Let's have you directly engage a threat. Please roll with danger.
Is asphyxia, how is that thing worded? Is he underestimating me?
Well, he's a villain. He's gone in solo, so I think yes.
All right, so I get to directly engage a threat with superior instead. Which is a 9.
That is a 9. So you're going to trade blows, and
spend a team to help.
Yeah, sure. Tell us how you do that.
Like we're here, and as soon as Sarah appears, and I'm like, there he is. I'm just like hurling myself at him. At asphyxia, and so if hearing clank 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 over his shoulder distracts him just a little bit, so that Zahn can get that punch in, then I feel like that.
Okay.
As I'm charging at him.
Sure. So Zahn,
I saw that going down is I get him to my gravitational field, kick him a little to send him a bit in orbit around me, and as I accelerate, just throw him somewhere. So maybe I get Nessus from with the clink clink cling. I throw him in that direction.
Absolutely. Tell me what you want to have as your picks.
Oh, yeah, choices
for that.
Pick 2. I'll create an opportunity for my allies. And I will take something from them. Does he have like a gadget on his wrist like Eduardo?
No, he's got a whole suit.
Oh, then I'm going to pick a component from his suit.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. That was a bad choice, Simon. Tone of voice.
So you will grab a pull onto that. You'll probably, as you do that, you'll hear Sarah go, "No!" Because you can feel when that crackle and pulls, that oxygen draining field around like explodes outwards, and even you will feel like the oxygen pulled out of your cells.
Yeah, I kind of may have made the same mistake the first time we fought him.
Literally exactly the same mistake.
However, you do smash into him, and you do deal him a condition, but you're going to have to roll take a powerful blow.
Let's take a powerful blow. 8.
That is an 8. So what do you want as your pick on that?
His choices.
Already kind of given ground.
What?
We've already kind of given ground a little bit here.
Yeah, I'll mark 2 conditions.
Okay.
This is making me insecure and afraid.
Yeah, and you will all who are seeing Zahn will probably see the reactions, the sort of the bluish tinge to his skin, the change there right away. So who do we think acts next? Is it Sarah? Is it Torrent? Is it Harvester? Harvester, I see you raise your hand. So let's go with you.
Yeah, because he's coming like he kind of shot him at me as I'm charging forward. And I can feel the the oxygen is coming out. My skin's starting to turn blue. The arms don't need oxygen though.
Right.
So like I keep going on the trajectory that I'm on, and like my feet hit the ground and kind of all 4 arms come together as he spins towards me and like hit as hard as they can straight up to try and knock him as high into the air as I can so that maybe we can grab a breath. Does
that seem like directly engaging?
I feel like it is. When I directly engage by heading directly into danger without regard for my own safety, I can roll with Savior instead of Danger.
Let's do that then.
So I'm going to do that. So my Savior right now is at 2. Way out here. Here we go. 8 plus 2 is 10.
That is 10. And what do you want for your picks on that?
Oh, what do we got? Impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
And?
Take something from them. Well, actually, opportunity. No. Are there still bits of this suit I can take off of him?
Yeah.
Yeah, take something from him.
Okay.
Do you have any kind of a oxygen tank or anything like that on there so that he can breathe?
No.
No, interesting.
No. It does seem like this suit is not about controlling the powers. It's about keeping the powers from going off. So I'll let you think about that on your choice there. Like the only device you've seen that seems to like be a negation device that you've seen is Eduardo's.
Okay. And like do I think it is it? Oh, I had that schematic.
Yeah.
So like did it tell me anything about like what the suit does or
the suit like dampens his powers. Outside of that suit, he is constantly destroying the oxygen in the area. Like he can't control it without the suit.
Got it. Yeah, I'll just grab another bit off of it.
Okay.
Yeah. And see what happens when he goes Nova.
And Sarah is shouting, "Stop doing that!"
Sarah, what are you doing? And then I think we'll come to Torrent, and then we'll come back to Shadow Boy.
Yeah, I mean, in addition to the breathing,
I'm going to pause here. I apologize, Stephen. I'm going to come back to you in just 1 second. Okay. I take a powerful blow.
Yeah, you bet. Yep, that's what I'm here for. I've got no conditions right now.
You're all good.
That is a 7. So I'm going to take advantage of my influence to put insecure onto. Oh no, I've got Zan. Torrent's not here.
Torrent's here.
Oh, Torrent is here.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll mark 2 conditions.
Okay.
I think that's what I'll do.
So you get smashed. You see that right now, Asphyxia is looking around like he's pausing to assess the situation, like he is clearly looking for Eduardo. That is his reaction right now. Who you can see is kind of in the Chinese restaurant trying to get people out, but they're kind of passing out in his arms. Sarah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been preparing for this fight. I've got a device. If we can restrain him, I can shut him down. But we've got to immobilize him first. So I think I'm going to directly engage him.
Okay. Then are you pulling your punches?
Yeah, I'm not trying to hurt him. I'm trying to immobilize him.
Okay. Then let's have you roll with Savior.
So that's an 11.
That is an 11, so you get to pick 2 off the list.
All right. Yeah, resist or avoid their blows,
Okay.
and create an opportunity for our allies. So yeah, so I'm setting him up. I'm setting him up for the punch. Somebody can come in and take him down for long enough.
Which brings us to Torrent.
Okay, I think Torrent. What Torrent's going to try and do is it sounds like Sarah has a plan for this, so she's going to try and basically tackle him and immobilize him by draining off the kinetic energy he uses to move.
Okay.
So basically she's trying to tackle and hold him like in place. I don't know whether that be a defend or directly engage or.
Let me think here how that's going to happen. She set up the opportunity, so you probably need to act directly given that she set that opportunity up. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay. So let's have you roll that.
Okay. Directly engage, I think, is with danger, right?
That is with danger.
And I think I have afraid. Let me double check. Yeah, so I think that gives me a -2.
Okay. Got 2 pool in the team.
So that's
or the other way around.
That's a net -1.
Okay.
But I still get a 10.
You still get a 10? Inconceivable. So we've seen Harvester smash into Asphyxia and kind of tear some things off after Zahn got thrown. And then Harvester is pushed back. Sarah moves up. She's got some devices that kind of are clamping on, and you can feel those limiters kind of kick in. He's still angry, and you hear people dropping like flies around in the area. Like it's gone quiet because there's not even enough air and oxygen right now for people to hear. And there's a weird pressure change as well. Tell me what we see on panel for you to try and kind of knock him down.
I think what Torrent does is, I say basically he probably spun and flew away from Harvester after Harvester basically took that chunk off his suit. And he sort of staggered and tried to get his bearings so he could find Eduardo again after he'd been spun around like that. And Harvester basically just like leaps on him and tackles him full force to the ground and is holding him. And those purple waves of energy show that they're just sort of pulling away from Asphyxia. And it's like you can tell like there's an expression on his face, like he's trying to move, he's struggling, but he can't build up any kind of force to break his current inertia because she's constantly draining that off to keep him from getting up.
And you're holding him in place. He is not out yet.
And what I'm doing is I'm resisting or avoiding their blows, and I'm creating an opportunity for my ally with this.
Okay. And you've got him pinned, and you will see he looks over, and you see that the mask, the thing, the faceplate on this thing pop up, and he screams. He screams, "Eduardo, run! Run, they'll capture you!" And he is screaming to his past self to run. Zahn. You can finish him off.
Yeah, but can I see where Eduardo is from here? Or
Eduardo was trying to help people get out of the Chinese restaurant because he apparently wasn't affected by this oxygen thing. But then he sees this figure screaming his name in his own voice, telling him to run. And it looks like he's like seriously considering it.
I think I'm going to help him with this. Yeah, I think I'm going to fly to Eduardo, grab him in my field, and say, "Let's get out of here."
All right. I want to ask Harvester, and Sarah, and Torrent, when you see that happen, are any of you going to interfere with that?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
okay.
That can't stand.
And Torrent's not interfering because she likes Eduardo and she knows how this future stuff works. Or
Yeah,
maybe she thinks
Sarah's not going to interfere because asphyxia is the bigger threat right now.
Okay. So I let us consider this. This is one of those interesting things. The way to interfere is usually influence, right? For that, do you have influence over Zahn?
Yeah, I sure do.
Yes.
Okay. Then Zahn, do you want to spend your influence to give him a penalty? Let's look at that. So you can take advantage of your influence to give them -2 on a move they just made. Do you want to have him roll his unleash his powers first? So Zahn.
Oh wait, hang on. What's Zahn at? Yeah. Go ahead and make the what's he doing?
I think this is going to be unleash his powers to be able to fly him out of there. Or defend. I'm either way with that, Zahn. What do you think?
I think defense says it's from an immediate threat. The threat is immediate right now.
Okay, so yeah, do with the unleash your powers.
It's okay. So +0. I'm already at 6.
You're
at to use anything
at 6. So mark potential.
I will not spend a team to help.
What?
Tell me.
Oh, but I think I can be selfish here.
Yes, you can.
You can. It's true.
What was that? We never used this.
When you use team selfishly, say how your actions ignore or insult your teammates, remove one team from the team pool, and shift one label up and one label down, your choice. You can use this after rolling to alter the label you're rolling with, so that you would want to move up the stat you rolled with.
Yeah. So I think the actions speak for itself. I was with Harvester when she got asked to take Eduardo in, and I'm violently saving him from that.
Okay, and so go ahead and shift your labels.
So I'm going to get +1 freak, and I'm going to give myself this freebie, -1 mundane.
Okay, which brings us to you, Harvester. Are you going to spend?
I sure am.
Okay. So the good news is, Zahn, you still get to mark potential. The bad news is, Harvester, tell me how you stop Zahn from rescuing Eduardo.
I think that can this be when the containment team arrives and I just point them at them?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm like, that's Eduardo, apprehend him. We've got this under control.
You have to step in the way, though, right? You have to get between you and Zahn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Whatever I need to do. No. Like I just come over and like two of my arms just reach over and like get Zahn in like just a half Nelson and just peel them off. And I'm like, apprehend him.
If you want to really piss me off, put me on the ground.
and Zahn, you'll see.
No, I'm not. I'm just like I'm holding you up, but I'm holding you off so that you can't interfere.
Okay.
Zahn, you will see this Aeon team like that. They scramble out even as Eduardo is kind of getting to his feet to run, and they hit him with a couple of keep mounts and knock him out, and immediately drop the power dampeners on him and are hauling him off to the van to toss him in the back of that. But what is going on, Sarah? Because they're worried about a bunch of other stuff. Asphyxia is still on the table.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've built my own version of a power dampener, which coincidentally shares a lot of design elements with Eduardo's, even though I didn't know about him. And yeah, I'm trying to fasten that to Asphyxia's armor.
All right, then. Do you think this is you directly engaging a threat, or do you think this is you unleashing your tech powers?
I think it's unleashing my tech powers.
Okay, that seems fair to me.
Unfortunately.
Let's have you roll with Freak.
And that is a 6. So if somebody could help me out there, that would be really nice.
I will.
Torrent,
I will help.
how do you help?
I think the inertial dampening field I had set up actually was screwing up with the device's ability to attach to the armor. And I think Torrent basically releases the field just enough so that the device can attach.
Right. Okay. So yeah. So it attaches on. It attaches on, and yeah.
And that seems fair to me. You guys have battered him. He's tried to get his past self out. He sees his past self get grabbed up by Aeon, and that takes the wind right out of him, no pun intended. And you will clamp him down with those power locks, and he will, that oxygen will start to come back. You're finally able to catch your breath there as that gets turned off.
And at this point, do Sarah and I notice what's going on with Eduardo after we've finished doing that?
Oh, he's in the van.
Okay, so we didn't see him get hauled off.
Oh, I assume you will know that he has been captured by Aeon. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it. I was just sort of too busy to do anything about it.
I think Torrent leans down toward Asphyxia and says, "I'll get Eduardo," and pulls back.
I'm going to cut from you guys back to Shadow Boxer. Carter, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling bad. I'm feeling like I expected that this might not go right, but I didn't expect it to go this wrong. So I'm feeling pretty bad about myself.
And he says, "Are you okay, man?"
I just wanted to prove myself,
It's going to be okay. We just got to find somebody who knows how these things work, and we can get it straightened out, right?
Yes, I can fix this. Look, my buddy Zahn, he's like from another dimension, and my buddy Torrent, she's like from a different time, and yeah, we can figure this out.
Okay.
And Sarah, she's like a full genius, so I'm sure whatever it takes.
Wait, which Sarah?
Well, Sarah Sparks.
And he's like, but, and he says, this is a different time. This is a different time. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
And he looks like clearly the name Sarah Sparks, like that clearly bothers him.
So I pull out my phone and I see the missed call from Torrent. So I try to call her back.
Torrent got the bad guys locked down. They are conducting the sort of the clearing and rescue operations. It was a quick battle, so mostly it's people who injured themselves, falling over, passing out. And you will get that call from Shadow Boxer.
You're muted.
Curses. Damn mute. Okay. Carter, are you all right?
I have good news and bad news.
Okay. Were you attacked by your future self?
What? No.
Good. So he
That's
only came
ridiculous.
after me. Good. So he only came after me. All right. That's good. I wouldn't know if he had captured you first.
Well, let's put a pin in that because I took care of Bolt.
What?
Yeah, all on my own. He will
What
not
happened?
be a problem anymore.
How? What?
Look, let's just say I'm awesome. But there were some side effects.
Okay.
What
are the side effects? And also, I need your help to bust somebody out of Eon.
Wow, there is a lot going on today. Let's just say Bolt is now reformed.
What?
Yeah, he seems like a pretty cool guy. Unfortunately, I think we need to switch him back.
And I think that is the point I'm going to cut for our break. And let's take 7 minutes, and we will come back with a meeting of the minds as we bring the team together to discuss this this current situation. Does that seem fair? Cool. Okay, 25 after. So when I came out from under the anesthesia for the procedure on Monday, apparently I was freaking hilarious. I don't remember any of it, but Sherry has several times now tried to tell me what I was saying, and she literally can't describe it because she starts laughing so hard and she cannot form a coherent sentence. So I don't know. Maybe I want to like record it next time. I don't know. Get Jim and Michael back to. Underestimate these pickles. Worst heavy metal album name ever.
Underestimated pickles or spicy pickles?
I underestimated these pickles.
That would be a They Might Be Giants album.
That is true. We are full circle on that one. Oh my gosh. Sherry and I have been playing a game called Farm Together, which is a game for the PlayStation 4. And it's also on the PC, I believe. And it is like Harvest Moon or Stardew Valley, but without any of the plot or talking to people. It is literally just farming. And it kind of runs continuously. So you do your crops, walk away, you come back, some of the crops have grown. It is this weird app, mindless meditative thing. But one of the nice things is you can actually go into other people's farms and help them out by planting crops or harvesting or whatnot. But it shows you my level of competency these days with Twitch games. All right. So we're going to do a roll for Torrent, which is going to give us some things. And then I'd like to bring like hard frame the group together, and see where we go from there. So Torrent, who are you looking into?
I think what she's doing is this sort of tableau that we just kind of went through, with future Shadow Boxer showing up, with new and different powers, and then this incident with Eduardo and Asphyxia, and how from Torrent's viewpoint it looks like Asphyxia was actually trying to save himself from basically being strong-armed back into super jail after he had been paroled. And from her perspective, Eduardo has done absolutely nothing wrong.
So you're considering Eduardo? You're trying to draw on him?
Right. He's the focus and the events surrounding him, and that may give her some insight into who else might be playing a role, because it could fill any of these boxes if we get to that point.
Absolutely. Well, your memories are currently at a 1.
So let's see how we go. That is a 6 on the dice, plus 1 makes it a 7.
Okay, so what does a 7 give us?
It lets me.
Hey, can I spend my influence here?
To bump it down?
To botch the roll?
That's a really good question.
Chris, if you're not okay with that.
Oh no, cool things happen either way this goes.
Yeah, so like I feel like because like there's like a thing where like you're like very clearly like you're looking at me saying I don't think what she did was right there, and maybe just my kind of like turning to look at you like for a second, like just some kind of glance where maybe it seems like I know what you're thinking just for a moment might like throw your concentration or something like that.
Well, that's possible. I mean, and really it's not necessarily whether or not she's puzzling it out, it's whether the memories are clicking.
Okay.
So,
all right.
So basically you just may have just looking at you may have thrown off her focus. So it could be anything.
So I'm gonna burn my influence.
Okay.
And cause that to be give a -2 on that roll.
So now you get to tell me what happens, Lowell.
And you get some potential.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm going to use that potential to unlock my moment of truth for future use.
I think. What do you think he is? Tell me what you think he is first.
I think Eduardo is the martyr. That's what I was thinking. Because this situation, just looking at how it played out, it seems like basically this is an event that could set off something, and it's really no fault of Eduardo's at all. Like he's the kid. He was out working a job. He was going to school, and all of a sudden, for all of this crap that he has no control over, the hard hand of the state has suddenly just dropped across his neck. The boot is on his throat through no fault of his own.
I think that it's a little bit like that, but he's a monster. His powers are murderous. And all it took was this little push over the edge. And there's a certain point at which you stop being a martyr and you start being a murderer. And that is what asphyxia very quickly becomes. And he is one of the murderous enforcers for the future that comes. Does that sound like a fair answer?
I think so.
Okay.
Let me see if I can spell asphyxia right, because I keep wanting to screw that up.
I think you spelled it right.
I think I got it now.
Yeah. So I assume that you would meet at your sanctuary, Sarah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fine. Either there or been there, done that. But
which do you want?
Let's do my sanctuary. This sounds like we might not want to have this discussion in public.
And give us a couple of details about this place. You got this from your late father, right?
Right. Night Terror, and I don't think he built it. It looks like there's a lot of alien technology in this. I think he discovered it, and it might have had some previous owners, but it's got this self-aware computer, which I'm pretty sure it's benevolent, but it has its secrets.
What is the detail here that most reminds you of your father?
It's Rosalind's voice. It reminds me of my grandmother.
Okay, like he clearly programmed that in to be familial, to echo that.
Or possibly it adapted automatically to what he would find comforting.
So it's more a reminder of your grandmother than it is of him.
Yeah, in a sense. That's
okay. So let me ask you then, Torrent, what's the thing here that you see that most reminds you that this place used to be, in the hands of the vigilante Night Terror?
I think that when you're in this space, there is a harshness to it all that just is not indicative of Sarah Sparks. Like this is a place of like hard angles and harsh lighting and inexplicably like shaded corners no good reason. Like it's a place of corners and points and edges, and that is sort of a sharp dichotomy with Sarah versus this space.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense to me. And Zahn, this is alien technology. What is it that you recognize from your extra dimensionality?
I think last session I dropped a name of someone I knew, Zang or something like that. That made technology. I think I see his like logo somewhere.
Oh, okay.
I know the guy who made that computer.
So it actually looks like it's a assembly line product kind of to use. So you're like, oh yeah, this is one of those super bases. It's a prefab, you know. Okay, I like that. Is this Harvester? Is this something that you think Aeon is aware of, or is this a new thing?
I think Aeon. Here's what I think. I think that Aeon knows that there's something there. They know that it's got a bunch of cloaking tech, and they've got an eye on it. But it's been inactive for so long that it's kind of like they have some like private first class is in a big monitor room, and this is one of the things that's on a bunch of monitors of like dormant volcanoes and empty asteroid bases and stuff like this. So kind of they're aware of it, but right now it's not like they don't have it flagged or anything because it hasn't been active in a while.
I like that. And when we come into this meeting, I think in some ways, Shadow Boxer, it's incumbent on you to maybe start the conversation. Your buddy Bolt is kind of following your lead. He looks, now that you're in Sarah Sparks's, what's clearly her space that she controls, he's like really on edge. But he's being quiet and deferring to you. So what do you tell the group?
Well, I got into a little trouble today. It sounds like I'm not the only one. But this is Bolt. But
Hey, everybody.
Not the Bolt that we all know.
What does that mean? Ching, like total, like immediately, like defensive posture, like ready to fight.
And Sarah's like she holds up a hand to like hold you back. Well, since Bolt hasn't attacked us yet, it's clearly not the Bolt we're used to. So let's hear this out.
We've been talking on the way here and learning about the differences between this Bolt and our Bolt, and what's his first name?
We'll say Chad.
Chad's a good guy in his world, and maybe that means that Bolt can still be a good guy in our world.
Guys, I really need to go back.
Right. Yes. First priority.
Yeah, because if I got swapped with somebody else, I don't want that other Bolt in my world, because there are people I care about there.
So exactly how did this happen, Carter? What went on?
Well, look, so I went down to I tracked down Bolt, and I was going to take him out so I could really show Harvester exactly what I'm capable of, because she seems to think I'm some kind of pushover, which is not the case. However, I was told that they weren't going to hurt me, and I kind of let my guard down after they said that, and I might have said something that pushed our Bolt's buttons, and he sort of came at me with a buzzsaw punch that I was not prepared to phase away from. So after he hit me, I kind of flew across the room, and then I tried to phase, and something happened. It was like, for a moment, I saw everyone's alternate selves, and then they all coalesced, but everybody was different, and Caliber saying,
Hold on. It's not just Bolt. There's a whole bar full of people from other dimensions.
more or less.
Oh, good grief.
Okay, where's the bar?
It's called the back stairs. It's not great.
What? What did you do to Backstairs? I like that bar.
Well, I was just going to try to track down Bolt. I didn't know that he was going to have a posse with guns.
So you brought a bunch of people over from like the apparently nice guy dimension to Backstairs?
I don't know which dimensions they came from, but
Okay. Good news. If they're all from the same dimension, we can use the same device that we use to track Dame Canada. We can use this with Bolt here to find the others and round them all up.
Well, I don't think they're from the same dimension. Some of the people I saw I didn't recognize.
there were some chairs being thrown out of windows. It didn't seem like a full nice guy town up in there.
And I pull those fancy goggles that I wear off, and I say, Sarah, can you tweak the sensors on these so that I can detect someone who's not? Is there some kind of vibration or something?
Yeah, well, there's more gamma dimensional background. There's oxytone, omega rays. They are chronal displacement delta waves.
Yes, that. Sarah, can you do that?
Maybe with Zan and Torrent help out, but
Well, that's a classic case of transdimensional fracture. I know a guy that can help. I just don't know if it's a good thing to see that guy.
So,
well, what are the consequences, Zan, if we don't call this guy in? What happens in this kind of situation?
Maybe it can be like it will resolve on its own, or it can be like it'll rip a tear into the space-time continuum and obliterate reality. Can go either way.
I don't think we can take the chance.
No, definitely not.
Work itself out.
So goggles.
You know, this could be a great opportunity. Folks, like, listen, like, Zan's trying to get back to another dimension. Torrent, you're trying to get back to your timeline. Maybe with my powers and your powers and Sarah's smarts, and I'm like intentionally like turning a cold shoulder towards Harvester's goggles. We can fix this all together. Everybody can go back home.
I'm not, Carter. I'm not trying to go back home. I'm trying to fix it.
The problem with me not being able to coming back is something like personal. It's not something it's not a problem with dimensions or access to.
We have to close this. We have to stop this. We have to shut this down, and we have to shut it down now.
Zahn, do you want to try and contact
Tyrannix, yeah.
Okay.
This means I have to go in the 5th dimension. It's going to make me sick. Can remember the stat on this one. I hate calling the cavalry. I really hate it this time. Roll plus superior. 10.
So you will reach, and again, I described last time seeing the sort of the evidence of the battle that's going on across dimensions, the war that's happening. There is even more of that, like moving through kind of a no man's land of this war. Like clearly things are rupturing and getting worse here in this time space moment. And Tyrannix will appear, and he's like, what? Right in the middle of a bunch of things.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes, I know it's sulfur. Just learn to breathe.
No, it's not that.
Who is this?
Oh, I apologize. I had to extend the dimensions here visually because I'm right now having a fight, a war in time and space.
Guys, this is Tyrannix, my mentor, could I say? I don't feel well.
Sir, I think that the war has extended a front to here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
but
this is the war.
right, but we have a problem. Our colleague Shadowboxer here, he unleashed some powers that he didn't know he had, and he seems to have dragged a bunch of people from different dimensions into this one, and put people from our dimension into those dimensions. Maybe we don't know exactly.
Have you called your dimensional janitor yet?
We don't have we don't know how to do that.
I think I can't remember pronounce his name. He's on vacation.
No, you're thinking of the other guy.
Oh,
That one's in a higher rank. Let me send. I will listen. I have to get back to the war. I will send you the janitor.
All right, thank you, Tyrannix. Really appreciate it.
Like the air will kind of fold in on itself, and this figure, like I didn't describe him because you can't remember what he looked like after he's gone. But then there's a shifting and a moving and a changing in the air, and you will see another figure manifest itself, and you'll see this cloaked figure, hooded, cape rolling down, and you will see a person that, Sarah, you've heard about before, and actually you know that Oddball had an encounter with. And you will see the interloper will step through. He goes, "Greetings. I am the interloper, the keeper of the dimensional values here in this place."
First of all, I just want to say, my bad.
Can you close your dimensional portal right behind you, please? Making me sick.
As you wish. And he will gesture, and that will close.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
And he will turn to you, Torrent, and he will say, "You're different now."
I'm different in a lot of places and times right now, I think. There's a lot going on.
I see that you've dealt with the other one. That situation has been cleaned up. Zahn?
Yeah, the other situation, it's the 8-dimensional parasite virus. Yeah, dealt with.
No, I mean the person ripped from the past.
The person ripped from the past. Which one? Which one person ripped from the past? I met several one.
He's talking about Oddball.
Oddball. Yeah, it's been dealt with.
Good.
Of course.
It seems that your abilities are greater than you know, Shadow Person. What you have affected is a temporary rift, a shift, as it were. If you will allow me, I will return the affected parties back to their home dimensions.
What happens then? What about the ones from this dimension?
They will be returned to this dimension. Everything in its right place. That is the way of the interloper, the magic arts that I practice to maintain the sanctity of this dimension.
Are you all ready for Bolt to come back?
Well, this poor guy doesn't deserve to be stuck here.
I'm just saying we should be ready because he's going to come flying back here. I don't know if he'll be very happy.
Yeah, I'm getting some restraints out. I'm getting ready to, like, if Bolt pops into the sanctuary, I'm ready to just push a button
and this Bolt goes, go ahead and put him on me.
Before you go, if you could give a piece of advice to yourself, if maybe you'd gone down the wrong path, what would you say?
I don't know. I didn't go down the wrong path. When I was in my darkest hour, you helped me.
Okay.
And he holds out his hands for you to put the restraints on him.
Okay. Yeah, and I clamp the restraints on his hands, and
he looks at you suspiciously as you do it, though.
It's like, I mean, before I clamp his hands, I want to shake his hand, and
he really doesn't want to, but he will, kind of purely out of convention.
And I'm sorry that I couldn't make things outwork with this world's Bolt. And
the interloper goes, time is short.
Yeah. Okay. I clamp the restraints in place.
And I oh man. And I just go up to him and I say, in your world, if there's an astronomer, let me see here. Sorry. Where's my last name? That's me with names. Find an astronomer named Priya Kulkarni and just make sure he's okay. And I'm like, there's like a tear coming down one cheek.
And he looks and he goes, I will, Edvika. And the interloper will, and like it'll all shift. You'll feel it, Zahn. It makes you throw up into another dimension. And even Torrent, you're also kind of phased by this. But then suddenly there's a kind of clearly beaten up, rougher, that sort of darker Bolt. His hair's dark. Of course, it's all slicked down now to differentiate him from the other Bolt. And he appears, and he sees him look. He sees you, Sarah, and you see the straight dial goes from like 1 to 100 in a second, and he leaps over to just try and kill you.
Yeah, and I'm going to punch him in the face.
And you will drop him to the deck. The balance is righted. I must go. And he is gone. Yeah, that's the janitor's on. You know that. Yeah, and Bolt is out, unconscious, laid out on the floor, power restraints on him.
And I smile, and I say, "Good collar, Carter."
Nice.
I do not feel great about that. So, you got in a fight with future me earlier?
Yeah, you did not turn out so hot, apparently. We might want to work on that. We might want to work on that.
No, we didn't get in a fight with future you.
No, you didn't.
I didn't. None of you did either. You got in a fight with alternate him, with him from a different one of those other worlds. You are going to be fine.
Well, I feel pretty good about that.
Are you telling Shadow Boxer what he needs to achieve his full potential?
So yeah, actually, I say you keep doing stuff like this, you're going to be fine. You are going to like they're going to be saying your name the way they say, someday they'll say your name the way they say the Gauntleteer.
What do you think, Shadow Boxer? Do you accept that?
So,
Or does that not resonate with you? Are you still worried about other things?
I think that this is sort of resolving some of my tension here with Harvester. I think that she's, kind of being encouraging here in this moment.
Okay. In that case, then Harvester will take influence over you, and we'll add 2 team to the team pool.
Okay. So, should we maybe fast forward to us hauling Bolt off the super jail? Or
yeah, we'll assume that Bolt is deposited with Aeon. So I think we can take a moment here. I would like to do some either paired interaction scenes, since we talked about people wanting to do some scenes that we hadn't done last time, or some personal stuff. Does that seem fair? Give us a breather here. Zahn, I want to start with you and Shadow Boxer, actually, if I could, if that's all right, because Shadow Boxer's been involved in the kinds of craziness that you're used to, right? That's your bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
At times, literally. So, what would you say to Shadow Boxer?
I think just at one point I come sit next to you. I at least hover next to you and say, so that happened today. How did you feel? How do you like it?
Well, I think at first it was exciting,
Right.
and I felt like when I realized that people can be different in different circumstances, right? That like maybe that means that there's a lot of potential to change things, you know, to make myself a better person and like to help, you know, other people go down a different path. But then, I mean, where does it all end?
Actually, never ends. This is what I call exploring the possibilities. If you look at different timelines, different dimensions, it's just like it's just like exploring our own world, but so much bigger, so much more potential, so much route you can take. It's really, it never ends. So it's not a good idea to try to grab hold of something and like try to control it. Just go with the flow.
Well,
Yes, you have power and potential to guide the flow somewhere, but it's more fun to just surf on the wave.
I don't know if I can do that, Zahn. I mean, you heard what Chad said. The only reason why he was on a different path was because I helped him. Can I really just leave our boat to continue down this dark path without interfering? If I just let it go, does that make me a bad person?
Well, I'm probably biased in that. I would say no. But if you feel like it's the right thing to do, then maybe that's what you need to explore.
Well, you've seen lots of different dimensions. Is there like a perfect dimension out there somewhere where everything went right for everybody?
I haven't seen that much alternate timeline dimension, but to get to that perfect dimension, you'll have to find out what is perfect, and that might be the really tricky part.
No kidding.
Zahn, do you think you're comforting and supporting?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, why don't you roll with mundane?
And I am.
I imagine Zahn doing there.
Okay. I have almost every condition, so I assume I'm going to get a -2 on that.
Let's
Yeah.
see.
I think you need angry.
Yeah.
So it's a 5.
So that's a 5. So the good news is you get to mark potential.
That line never gets old. Never.
No. The bad news is that you can tell that when Tyranics popped up, rather than, as you were hoping, those dimensional energies would have made you less sick, it actually felt like they made you more sick this time.
Ah, damn it. So while I'm delivering that, like, pretty good speech, I throw up on your shoes.
And it stays in this dimension.
It's something that you have to. Whoa!
Hey, are you okay, buddy?
No, not okay. Sorry. I think I need some time alone.
Is there anything I can do to help?
No, you can. Nobody can help me. Freaking nobody.
Pushes you away, Shadow Boxer.
Yeah.
Let's cut to Harvester. Last time you had talked about wanting to do a scene with Torrent. Let's do that pairing, and then I'll come to Sarah, and we'll figure out how we want to do the next scene on that. Does that seem fair? How do you want to? Is this like later on? Do you want to discuss what about Eduardo, or do you want to talk other things? What do you think is the framing for the scene?
Well, let me ask Torrent. Would you have any reason to come to me to ask me about anything or talk to me about something?
I think. Let's see. I'm trying to think if she would see you as somebody that she would necessarily like talk to about Eduardo, because she does have some concerns in that. She
but
liked
you know what?
You were extra.
She's interfered with a lot of these things. It's very strange. Harvester's been at the root of a lot of this. I'll just say, just laying that out there. Just put that on the table. Go on.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she's a little worried about your role as this, this enforcer type. Like,
do you believe I will shape the future?
I think she does, and if Lola's okay, I'd like to trigger that move again as she's thinking about this. So that now I'm at +2 for these memories.
Oh, I was thinking of that the applied history to Prisma Mask, but yeah, you can do that. Did you connect the dots as well?
Yeah. Maybe I'll do both. Let's see how this see how this works out. See, that's a 6. So no, Lowell gets to do another fun blank to fill in.
Oh yeah, she's the corruptor.
All right, let me fill
she's the one who makes the others what they are. It's her fault.
And I thought that name was just slightly creepy when I first heard the super name Harvester. Okay. Okay. I think if that's the revelation that hits Sarah out of this memory reverie she goes into it, or that hits Torrent in that memory reverie spot she tends to go through when she confronts these situations. She will try to make contact with Harvester. And I'm not sure how that would go, if she'll just try and catch you like after this little meeting at the headquarters.
I think we're like, what Harvester would be really interested in is looking at like whatever version of a trophy room there is here, with like broken masks and like cracked chest plates and stuff. Like fried blasters of all of the enemies that he took out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like in cases and stuff in the wall. And I'm just like looking at those and like actually reading the little plaques next to them and stuff like that.
Okay, I think as we've sort of broken up into like little sort of mini conversations here, I think Torrent will approach, and she says, that was a pretty good thing you did back there for Carter.
Well, and like I look a little confused, and I say it was a good collar.
And she like looks at you like confused, and she said, he literally, accidentally kidnapped multiple people from multiple dimensions. And we only fixed it because Zan managed to call in some super space wizard.
Yeah, but the important thing there is that we fixed it. This is not, look, this is a war. And the future has fired the first shot. And if we're going to live through this, we're going to need just as much luck as we are smarts and skill.
See, but that's the thing about luck. You can't plan for luck. You have to fight. If this timeline is going to survive, luck is not what you're going to survive on. And now she's going to try. And now she's going to try and pierce the mask as you're going back and forth.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
And as I say, well, it certainly isn't going to hurt.
And you get to roll with Savior,
So let's see
if you wish.
Oh, I wish. Let's see if that wish comes out pleasantly or badly. That is a 10. Or actually,
Nice.
no, an 11. Wait. Pierce the mask. I've got a bunch of conditions. Let me see if one of those affects it.
Pierce the mask is affected by
Angry.
insecure, I think. No, wait.
Angry.
Angry. Yeah.
So, okay. I'm pretty sure I've got angry marks. So that'll give me a -2. So that'll be a 9 instead of an 11.
Okay. So that gets you one question.
He can't, we're not in a fight, so he can't spend a team selfishly here, can he? Or can you do it in?
I believe because team floats outside of fights, because we give team at the
that's
start,
right, yeah.
that people could use team. You could use it selfishly if you wanted to push that up and alienate Harvester.
Act selfishly.
Give you two more questions.
Just ask the one.
You're losing money not doing that.
I think I think from Torrance' perspective, she's mad. She's afraid of all the consequences that are raining down from all of this crazy stuff that happens that she didn't anticipate and has no idea how to really deal with. And there's too much stuff. There's too many things for her to keep track of, and I think she's coming across a little more hostile than she means to. In the line of questioning she goes into, and so she's going to burn that team selfishly.
Nice.
And she's going to this is going to come off as a lot more abrasive than she meant for it to, but her emotions are getting the better of her here.
Nice.
And so for the pierce the mask questions, I kind of see which one of those I think would work, and then I'll sort of try and tailor her punches to that effect. Let's see. And I think one of them is, what do you intend to do with the situation, or what are you really planning? Those seem to me to be the same question. So I guess I go with, what are you really planning? What's the Eon angle on this whole thing?
Nice.
Number 2. What are you trying to get me to do? And how could I get your character to turn against Eon?
Which one do you want to start with, Jim?
The only way you could get me to turn against Eon is to prove they killed my family. That's the only thing you could do. But if you did that, that would do it.
Okay.
Which says a lot about the limits that of the things that she's willing to have Aeon do.
So that's that. What do I want you to do? You know what I want you to do? I want you to commit to being here and now.
Hmm. Interesting.
Because I may even say something like, well, you know, we live here and we can't run if this all burns down. You can. And if you're going to have our backs, we got to know that you're in this for the long haul. And that this is and that you keep talking about where you're from. This is where you are, and you got to be here now. You got to be present, soldier, in every sense of that word. And what am I really planning, or what do I intend to do? Which one did you ask?
I think what I'm angling for is the plan. Like, what is Eon's angle? What is your angle / Eon's angle in this thing? I'm not sure. I think what you intend to do is maybe more immediate, and I think I'm going for long term. I think I'm going for the long term idea.
Long term is to figure out, like, it's very clear. Figure out why we ended up together. Because whatever, like, there's a whole lot of cosmic forces and stuff that brought us together, and we're all here with each other for there is a reason. And my job is to find out what that is. And long term, I mean, and basically it's the, you know, I've been ordered to get along with everybody. And so, you know, Aeon's long-term goal is make sure that I'm around to keep an eye on all of you. Are those satisfactory answers for you?
Yeah. And I think the hostility is coming out is basically her sort of questions are getting, you know, a little bit sharper, a little bit harder edged. Like, you know, what are, you know, why are you at that school? And why was it suddenly so important to, you know, for you to join up with this team? And why was it sudden, and what, you know, and why was it suddenly so important to arrest that kid, Eduardo, who was basically doing nothing but trying to work and go to school like a person?
Because he's not a person.
And at that point, I think Torrent punches the shit out of her. Sorry. Yeah, that's just a whop. That's
okay. Which is to say, Torrent takes a swing at a trained soldier.
Yep. Yep. So,
yeah, I think we see the classic inner team kind of skirmish there. That probably comes with people pulling you away, kind of thing.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, I like the, like, you know, Sarah is like grabbing me, and, you know, like I've got like a little blood coming out of one nostril, and I'm just grinning. Like I get punched like that by sparring partners for breakfast. And I say, you're going to have to do better than that, tourist. You got to be here. If you want to be here, but make up your mind.
Wow. All right.
Can I roll provoke on that?
Oh, you provoked her.
Yeah. What's your goal here? What is it you want to have happen?
I want to gain influence.
Okay.
I think you already have it.
Okay.
You already have it. Everybody has influence over Torrent.
But we you
burned it. Oh, you burned it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, let's go ahead and have you roll superior.
Cool. All right. Uh, 6 + 1 gets me to 7.
Okay. For PCs on a 7 and 9, choose one. If they do what you want, add team to a pool. If they don't, they mark a condition.
Give me influence.
I don't think that's an option on there, actually. That's an NPC option, right?
Okay. Say what you're trying to get them to do.
Yeah, so you need to say what you're trying to get it to do. And then if they do it, they add a team. If they don't, they have to mark a condition.
Oh, so it can't be like a meta. I'm trying to get them to give me influence.
No.
Okay. All right. Oh, what do I want her to do? They rise to the bait and do what you want. She's already thrown a punch at me unprovoked.
Now, I mean, one of the things is influence can be given in the fiction too. If you want to ask, if you think that this rises to this level of you gaining influence over her, we can negotiate that between you and Torrent.
I am super cool. Like, that is a thing where I feel like we've now both got influence over each other.
Yeah, well, I think definitely like you know her trigger, so
Yeah.
you can pull that trigger.
Yeah.
At this point. So I think that would translate to influence inside the fiction.
Yeah, let's have you both gain influence over one another.
That's perfect. I think that's exactly the right resolution for that.
Yeah, thank you, Simon, for pointing that out. It is one of those things is because that NPC PC breakdown and some of the moves is easy to kind of get mixed up on.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's because I read the influencing them. Can we just retcon the move, the roll out of?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll retcon that. We'll do the exchange of the influence. Yeah. That seems fair.
That's exactly what I was looking for.
Let's cut that scene. And Sarah, you've seen some tension in your team, and certainly. Let's take up with you after two of your team members going after one another.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling them to cool off. I'm sort of sending each one of them to their own corners, and I want to seek out Shadow Boxer.
Okay. Are we still in the base, or are you talking to him off base somewhere else? Where do you think we want to have this scene?
I think we're still in the base, but I've pulled him into a corner for a little quiet conversation, and it's like, Carter, I'm worried about what happened in that bar. I mean, I'm not worried about the dimensional thing. I'm worried about the fact that we didn't have your back, and that's because you didn't vet us. You went in. We're a team. We're supposed to be watching out for each other. And if you don't trust us to do that for you, I'm worried.
Sometimes I feel like maybe I don't pull my own weight. So I thought if I could do something impressive. Maybe I was just trying to convince myself.
And look, that's the only person you need to convince, because the rest of us, we know you're pulling your weight. You are on the team because you belong here.
Well, that's very nice of you to say, Sarah, but if anything, I proved to myself that I'm not supposed to be here. I made things even worse.
It's the only reason things went wrong was because you were on your own and things got out of control. But that's the point of a team. When we're together, we support each other. We have each other's backs, and you aren't in a situation where you have to fix everything all by yourself. You have to trust us. You have to trust us to help you when you need it, just like we trust you to help us when we need it. Yeah, and I think I'm trying to do a comfort and support move here.
Okay, let's have you roll mundane.
And I do think that I've also shared a vulnerability with you,
Ooh,
and you
okay.
did confirm that I should be here.
Yeah, definitely.
So I get to mark potential and give you influence over me.
Okay, and I got a 7 on the comfort and support move.
So Shadow Boxer,
I already have it. I already have influence.
yeah. You can mark potential, clear condition, or shift labels. Shadow Boxer.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't have any conditions. Boy.
No,
I
he's
just
not the one who needs comfort.
I mean, you would
Okay.
think.
Oh,
I'm just sad. That's not a condition, though. Okay, let me pull up the move here.
I'm going to shift your danger down by 1 and your superior up by 1.
Cool. Then I guess I'll mark some more potential while I'm here. Sarah, I don't know if you picked up on this, but did you see how other Bolt was looking at you and seemed
Like
kinda
you
on
didn't
edge?
trust me at all. Yeah, that was pretty obvious.
Are you ever worried that, like, your abilities could be used for evil? I was kind of shooken up when Torrent told me that she got in a fight with me.
I mean, anybody's abilities can be used for good or evil. It's what we choose to do. And, I have never once thought that I would go on the wrong path because of my grandfather. I mean, I can't imagine disappointing him like that. And I think that's the difference. If you really care about how your actions affect people, then you aren't going to end up on the wrong path. I really believe that. If you just remember who you are and what you're fighting for.
So how should we deal with these villains then?
It's I don't know. I'm not sure all of them are villains. I mean, the younger Asphyxia, he seems like he's trying to hold it together, and it looks like the grown-up version. He might have been trying to save himself from becoming himself, if you know what I mean. I mean, I don't think anybody is irredeemably a villain. So, if we can reach the younger people's younger selves and steer them on the right path, I mean, Advika, she is a professional, but I'm not sure she made the right call there. I'm not sure turning this kid over to a military organization was the right move in the long run.
Thanks for talking with me, Sarah. You've really cleared some things up for me.
Yeah.
And I want to do a quick swing through of brief tidbits and then do the end of session thing. And I think the first tidbit is we cut off from that moment where we see you talking and speaking about Advika, and we will cut to the counselor's office, and we will see that purplish shift that we've come to associate with chronal energy, and we will see the counselor look up, and we'll see she stands up straight, and she will say, Aeon Temporal Control Officer reporting. And we will see the camera swing over, and we see this figure kind of unfurl, those metal arms come down as she steps out of the chronal thing, and she will say, status report. And we're actually going to cut from there to a brief shot where we see Shadowboxer, and we see Shadowboxer is got his phone, and he's probably looking at some footage, some camera footage of this fight in the park with Sarah Sparks and Torrent and this guy in this really cool costume. And then we cut to Torrent, who is feeling all of the energies of this disruption that crackle around her, and all of these things. And that moment that clicks, that she knows it's coming. Like, the moment is almost on us. Like, you can feel that. And then we cut to Harvester being spoken to by your debriefing officer, who says, so this Torrent seems to have knowledge of the future.
They claim to be from the future. Whether it's I haven't figured out whether, given what I witnessed earlier today, it's hard to say whether temporal physics and causation are not something that I'm really a specialist in. I don't know whether she's from the future or from an alternate timeline, but all I do know is that she has some kind of agenda, and she's not telling us what it is.
We're going to have to bring her in and get that information out of her. And we're going to cut on that line over to Zahn. And Zahn, you'll feel that dimensional energy, that shift, that kind of makes you a little sick, but it's different than before. And you will see this figure kind of step out. They're dressed pretty nicely, and they say Zahn.
Yeah.
My name is Gabriel 3. I represent someone who can help you overcome your sickness.
Yeah. What? Yeah. What? Yes. Cool. What? Woo?
My employer would like to help you if you can help him, so that you can travel again.
Okay.
Good,
Gosh,
good.
Yeah, I'm interested.
The Imperionics just needs a little push in the right direction. And we'll cut from that to Sarah. Sarah, you're in the base, and we'll see that crackling of temporal energy, Sarah, and then a kind of a slumping and a fall and a crashing of a figure to the floor of your sanctuary. And Sarah, you will see Overclock. Overclock, who you thought was lost, who you thought was gone, there having fallen out of the timeline.
Yeah, I rush up and I embrace him. And like I'm cradling him in my arms.
And he says, the Imperionics sent back an agent, a traitor. She took the form of my sister. And so let's do the end of session moves as we set up for the ultimate session next time. Torrent, did you grow closer to the team, into your own image of yourself, or away from the team?
I think she's pushing into her own self now. Like so she's not necessarily growing away from the team, but she is getting more and more the idea that this is on her and she's got to do it.
You get to shift labels. What do you want to shift?
Let's see here. I think she wants to shift. I think she wants to shift Savior down 1 and Freak up 1.
Okay. That makes sense. Harvester. Closer to the team, into your own image of yourself, or away from the team?
I think closer to the team.
Who made you feel welcome?
Sarah, for sure.
Okay.
I'm so glad to have a commanding officer again.
Then you give influence to Sarah?
Yep.
Does she already have influence or no?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Then you may shift Harvester's labels. Don't forget that Harvester also has Soldier as an additional label. And Harvester, you may clear a condition or mark potential.
I'm going to clear Insecure.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure I'm still angry.
Yeah. So what do you want to shift there, Sarah?
And I want to shift Harvester's Mundane up.
Okay.
Oh,
And let's see. I'm trying to decide if I want to be mean and shift your Soldier down.
yeah, you can totally do that.
Yeah,
Go for it, man.
I'm going to shift your Soldier down.
It completely makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That's why it's there, is so that you guys can mess with it.
Yeah.
So,
I was just deciding how mean do I want to be. But
no, that's totally cool. I welcome your meanness.
Yeah.
Michael, closer into your own image of yourself or away?
I think closer.
And who made you feel welcome? Was it Zahn or somebody else?
It was kind of everybody, but I think the person that sort of drove it home at the end there was Sarah.
Okay.
So shift my labels.
Yep. And you can clear condition or mark potential, Shadow Boxer. You're clear. You're crystal clear, my friend.
Okay. Let's see.
A hard call, yeah.
Yeah. What do I
more superior? Same you did before, or do you have a different idea in mind?
Yeah, it's
one of his moves is based on mundane, so you might also consider that.
Yeah. Okay. I'll shift your mundane up and your danger down.
And Simon, for Zahn, close to the team, into your own image of yourself, or away from the team?
I'm going to say close to the team. Shadowboxer allow me, even at the cost of my health, allow me to have the taste of what I like in life, and how the kind of situation I like to be in.
So are you giving him influence?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Then Shadowboxer, you have influence over Zahn.
It's a rare treat. Take care of it.
But nicely, you get to choose, and this is a tough decision for you. Do you want to mark potential, get a new move, or do you want to clear one of the 4 conditions that you have marked?
I'm going to take potential.
Oh, that is the gambler's one there. That is a good call. I don't know what I would do in your situation. I don't know. I would be so torn. But I think that's a great call.
I think I plan on trying to hit all the triggers of the conditions next time to get rid of them.
And I definitely want to push on Harvester, because Harvester has a move that you would that where we're going to see if we can beat Harvester up next time, so that she can keep taking it. We didn't get a chance to do that today quite so much, but we'll try and push on that. Sarah, close to the team, into your own image of yourself, or away from the team?
Closer to the team, and I think Shadowboxer was the one who made me feel most welcome. And question, was hitting Bolt enough to clear Angry?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Okay, so I'll mark potential. Yeah, I mean, I didn't do a lot of damage to him, but it was very satisfying.
Yeah. Yeah, you did hurt someone. Well, actually, let me think about that. No, you don't value his opinion, so actually, I don't think you clear Angry on that. Because I think you have to hurt somebody that you didn't want to hurt. And I think you did want to hurt him.
Okay.
Yeah. And so you give influence over you to Shadowboxer. Did Shadowboxer already have that?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, then Shadowboxer, you get to shift labels on Sarah.
I think you should move Savior up and Superior down.
So, speaking of that,
sure.
Can Torrent and I clear Angry because that little Donnybrook we got into, or?
Yeah, actually, I think that would rise to that level, because you didn't want to hurt each other.
Yeah, and I mean, and she belted me, and I like.
Yeah, I think that's exactly the way to play that out. When you hurt somebody that you shouldn't hurt, like that you didn't want to hurt.
Question: did I hurt Shadowbox when I turned him down, like push him aside at the end?
Ooh. Yeah, I think you did. I think all of us gasped a little bit at that moment. So yeah, I think you can also clear that.
Oh, so the gasping is a healing factor. Cool.
Gasping is a healing factor. There were some serious gasps for me tonight. So I've got some things out there. We're going to see what we can do, what we can bring, and then I want all of us to see how we can drive to a conclusion next time. We'll check in with everybody at the beginning of the session, and we'll see what we can bring to bear. We've got one session left, and I am waiting to see what it is going to be like. So
you threw in a lot of twists to bring together for the last session. So
well, it's logical stuff in some ways. Things I wanted to push things forward down the sleeve a little bit. So we'll get to that. I'm going to go ahead and stop the broadcast and say goodnight.